Rebel Massage products are made with all-natural, functional ingredients, built to support hands-on work and formulated so a little goes a long way. Real value, no filler. And you don't need a license to use them. If you have skin, you're in. I have tried to paint the Serratus Anterior before, without success, and I learned a lot from that first attempt and since that first attempt. Let's dive in. I've started by palpating the medial border of the scapula because that serves as an attachment site for this muscle. From the medial border, it fans out laterally and grabs onto almost the entire lateral rib cage. I'll touch on this more later. At this point, I'm painting on the spinous processes of the vertebrae because the rhomboids attach here, and the relationship between the rhomboids and the Serratus Anterior is significant. With my white paint, I'm highlighting not only the medial border of the scapula, but also the attachments of these two muscles and how they actually, for all intents and purposes, hold hands. As I start to extend these connective tissue lines in and through the muscle fibers, note the direction they're taking. The fibers of this muscle, when they contract, will pull on the medial border of the scapula, creating scapular abduction or protraction and upward rotation, allowing us to reach overhead. The fibers of the rhomboids, as you can see, do the opposite. So they may be holding hands, but they're pulling in opposing directions. Remember, though, that a muscle doesn't only pull at one bone. The attachments at the ribs are strong, and this is a very deep muscle. So when the scapula is stabilized, the Serratus Anterior will actually work to assist in deep inhalations. Think about what it looks like when someone goes all out in a sprint or a hard workout and then stops and rests their hands on their knees to catch a breath. This would be when the Serratus Anterior works to expand the rib cage, helping the diaphragm to bring more air into the lungs. This little slice of muscle I'm painting here is the subscapularis. It also lives on the anterior aspect of the scapula, hence its name, but the Serratus Anterior is deeper, so I had to break out my scalpel and retract the subscapularis to get a good view of the Serratus Anterior. These two muscles also have a special relationship, but I'll save that for another video. I'm establishing the clavicle, the ribs, and the sternum at the front because, well, everything is connected, but also the scapula's movements largely interact with these elements. The scapula is irregular not only in its label, but also because it has this very cool protrusion of its spine, which connects to the clavicle and defines a lot of shoulder movement. The coracoid process, which I've got painted here as a white dot, is also a fascinating irregularity. Seemingly separate from the scapula in the back, it's not. It's another bony projection serving as an attachment site for a lot of muscles, pulling yet again at how the scapula moves. One of those muscles is the pec minor. If this guy is tight, it will pull the scapula forward and down, creating chaos to all the other muscles trying to hang on. For the Serratus Anterior, a shortened pec minor might orient the inferior border of the scapula away from the ribs, chronically lengthening and potentially weakening the Serratus Anterior. And of course, I'm painting the levator scapula because when the Serratus Anterior is weak or underdeveloped, the levator scapula, in combination with the trapezius muscle, not painted here, will overcompensate in scapular upward rotation. So, like if you want to reach above your head to get something off a top shelf, there's a good chance the levator scapula and the upper trap will do the heavy lifting here. And if this becomes a pattern, they become tired, irritable, and guarded, and you all of a sudden become well acquainted with trigger points. Lastly, I'm including the long thoracic nerve, not just for a color pop, but because this is actually the nerve that innervates the Serratus Anterior. And fun fact, it's the only nerve to do so. So if this nerve gets pinched or inflamed, a lot of things go sideways, including the resting position of the scapula into a dysfunction known as winged scapula or scapular winging. These last clips are taken from a class I taught through the Neil Asher Institute, link included below, and we acted out the movements of the Serratus Anterior, so here they are. As I mentioned earlier, it upwardly rotates the scapula, pulling the inferior angle up and away from the ribs, allowing for the arm to reach over about 120 degrees of abduction. It also protracts the scapula, so brings the scapula away from the spine, allowing the arm to reach forward for maybe a strong punch or a big, huge hug. I prefer hugs. And then, as I explained earlier, it assists in accessory breathing, lifting the ribs in deep inspiration when the scapula is stabilized. So take a deep breath and fall in love with your Serratus Anterior.